Welcome back to The Echo Was Me, a space where survivors rise, share their stories, and remind the world we are never alone. My name is Finley, and I'm a 33-year-old survivor of two domestic violent marriages. A little update this week. It's not so much a happy update, but Joe and I have had our first meeting with our children's principal because there's some bullying going on with our two oldest on the school bus. And it's frustrating for me because my kids already came out of a chaotic environment, and I feel very guilty that they are back in a somewhat chaotic environment. Specifically, it's on the bus. They've had to run home a couple times, these kids chasing them. We talked to one of the parents. The kids straight up lied to our faces after my children identified them. And so it's just been a frustrating couple of days, but the one thing that makes me happy is I have, Joe by my side, and he drove to the bus stop the last 2 days. And yesterday he got out and made sure the kids saw him first. And so it was really nice because the kids felt that sense of they can breathe, safety, because some of the kids on that bus that day were just getting a little too worked up. So hopefully, with our meeting with the principal, things will calm down. Um, we'll see. So just keep my kids in your thoughts. So, on to my topic for today. As we approach the holidays, I would like to start talking about those once in a while more because holidays, if you have been in a DV relationship with a narcissist, holidays are not fun. You can't have a moment to just breathe that day and to just really take in everything and see the kids open their presents because you're sitting there holding your breath wondering what is going to trigger them today, because let's face it, on any holiday, birthdays, Christmas, Halloween, they will do something to take a really good moment and just turn it around. Not even just on the holiday, at least in my personal experience. My ex-wife, we used to go to trunk or treats, and as we'd go down there, we'd be arguing the entire way there, and we would get out, and it would be just that awkward, cold silence between us because I didn't want to argue in front of people, and our kids, of course, could feel it, and I felt terrible for that. Always will if they had to put up with that for holidays. It's just something I will forever make up for, no matter how old they are. But I started thinking about it, about how it's going to be in this relationship with Joe. And yesterday, as we were driving to a trunk or treat, it was the same one I had gone to with my ex, and we were driving, and he missed a couple of parking places that he could have pulled into, and I didn't feel like he was listening to me, but he had a plan to turn around because there was a lot going on downtown. And I'm realizing with holidays it sometimes still triggers me because I'm so used to there being chaoticness and there being yelling and there needs to be something negative going on. And so I felt myself in my chest, I just felt myself getting so frustrated with him last night that he didn't turn into any of these places I had told him he could park at. And as he's turning around, I'm realizing that, like, it's okay. He's not her. He knows what he's doing. He's going to find a parking spot. You can breathe. And I realized it wasn't even necessarily him. I think it's just how my body and my mind respond to things because I'm still healing. I'm still responding to things how I would if I was in a relationship with my ex-wife or my ex-husband. And so he went and he found a parking spot and he parked. And the rest of the night was great, honestly. I didn't sit there and huff and puff about it. I didn't come at him. We had a good night. We stood in line, we got candy. We watched some younger girls. I want to say they're probably at junior high, high school. They put on this beautiful Mexican heritage dance, and I can't even say the name because I will butcher it. But it was awesome, and the kids had fun, and Joe and we had fun. We were just holding hands, talking, laughing, and so I realized that the rest of the holiday season is going to be amazing, but it's also going to be hard on my part because I need to not let the triggers and the feelings from all the other holidays, the last holidays from the ages of 18 to 32, come into my mind and tell me this is too calm for a holiday. So, but again, if you've been in a DV relationship and you've had holidays with your abuser, you know how it can be. Um, and I'm gonna an example, I guess, for mine with my ex-wife, because my ex-husband, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I don't really remember a whole lot with him. I mean, things will come back here and there, and I'm sure I'll get into him more. But with my ex-wife during holidays, it would start with calmness in the morning, and then the kids would open their presents, and it was usually after the presents open that something would happen. I would say the wrong thing, or she would just take some. She would just take anything she could find and nitpick it. And I realized a lot of times she would sit there and she'd push my buttons and she'd push my buttons. And when I tried to walk away or voice to her or something, that's when things would explode. Or you were sitting out there waiting for her after presents or to eat or whatever it may be that I had planned for that day. And she'd be in the bathroom for a really long time. And I think not everyone can relate to that because my abuser was also an addict. And I don't know when she started drugs again, but I do know she was addicted to alcohol our entire relationship. And so that would be a buzzkill to see beers on the counter and her drinking a beer as we're opening presents and her hiding in the bathroom with a beer. And it was frustrating. And it got to the point where just seeing the bathroom door close and the kids out here excited and me trying to get everything going and lunch made and dinner made and her nowhere to be found. And I remember it was our last holiday. We were separated and it was Thanksgiving time and she really wanted to make the turkey. And so I had the kids and I, as I do every Thanksgiving, they each choose a side and they make the side with me. And we're waiting for her to come make the turkey and she's in the bathroom. She's locked in the bathroom, just sitting in there and she won't let anybody in. And then I said I was going to make the turkey and that perked her right up to where she started screaming at me, went back into the bathroom and closed the door again. We did not eat Thanksgiving until almost, I want to say around midnight that year, as were a lot of meals when she insisted on making them. And so it was frustrating because I wanted to put the turkey in. I wanted to just say, F you, this is what I'm doing. But it was me trying to keep the peace with the kids and not have her screaming at us and not have her ruining another holiday for the kids. But like I said, eventually she came out. We didn't eat till midnight, close to midnight. And it was super, super frustrating for me because I could have been anywhere else but there. But unfortunately, it is what that was. But now I no longer have to celebrate holidays with her, which is fantastic. But honestly, it sucks. We don't want to be in that position as people who are with DV partners, partners who drink, partners who have addiction problems. We don't want to be in that situation during holidays. Believe me, we would rather be with somebody who's healthy and somebody who wants to make memories and says, whatever you want, baby. Like my Joe does. He says, whatever you want. Whatever you want to do for the holidays, we're doing. And I absolutely love that because it means that I have room to do things and make memories and he's on board and it's great. But my heart really goes out to everybody who's still stuck in that situation and people who are still healing after that situation. Because it's a fight during and it's a fight after. Holidays come up and our minds automatically just go to the chaos. And I know I'm guilty of this, thinking that my now partner is going to start fights with me on holidays. And that's where I have to remind myself he's not her and there's no reason I need to let my triggers and my PTSD get the best of me and ruin the holidays. And so it's a learning curve for me. And I know it's a learning curve for all of you other survivors out there too. And it just sucks when you're a huge holiday person like I am, and you are sitting there and you are watching this person ruin every holiday and your anniversary and your birthday, all of it down the tube. But you still post the happy parts of it on Facebook enough that people think you guys are okay, enough they think the kids are okay, enough they think that there's nothing wrong with that family, and you'll do that. You'll take the little snippets. You will snip out little parts of the day and you'll post only the good ones. Even if you ended the night crying, even if you ended the night in bruises, you'll still post the pictures and say, Merry Christmas, everyone, from our family to yours. We had such a magical day. And I know because I did it too. I took out the happy parts and I threw away the bad parts so nobody would know. And so, this holiday season, if you are still in a relationship like that or you're healing from one, I urge you to really do hold on to those good memories of everything going on around you. And especially if you're in one, I urge you to look around this holiday season and think to yourself, can you go another holiday like this? Is this how I want the memories to be? The memories I allowed people to see, the memories I'm going to insert into my children. That's all they remember. Because as they get older, us inserting the little snippets here and there aren't going to work anymore. So I hope this holiday season, if you're healing, it's a magical one. And if you're in one, it's an eye-opener. As usual, I like to give my resources at the end. The domestic abuse hotline is 800-799-7233. The suicide hotline number is 988. Thank you for listening to The Echo Was Me. Remember, you are not what happened to you. You are here. You are healing. Until next time, stay strong and keep speaking your truth.